Senior day for Colorado. The Utes had 3 seniors on the floor on the road today, and the Buffs with 7 seniors. The outgoing class, Kelly Lavaggi, number 20 for the Buffs, sets a career high. She tallies 7 kills as she steps in for an injured Sterling Parker, one of those seniors. Jill Schnegenberger, another important senior contributor today with 9 kills, 13 digs for senior Jill Schnegenberger as they use a variety of those 7 seniors. Megan Hart, the leading efficiency attacker in the Pac-12, big for the Buffs today, and Colorado wins in 4 over Utah.
Back in the Buffalo Stampede, we got some great images there from senior night for the volleyball teams. They got a win over the Utes of Utah back at the Stampede. Jalen, Gabbidon, Mark Johnson. Buffs got a win over his former school, Yale, by the way. Hard-fought winning. Was that weird going out there and playing against those guys?
So weird. I mean, I've practiced against these guys so long,
right,
so many times. They're my best friends, and before the game, I was like, I couldn't even look at them. I was just focused on what we had to do. It's weird, but I'm super proud of them. Like a lot of them are young guys that I helped mentor a little bit when I was there, and so see them compete. Well, I'm really proud of them. But obviously, we had to get a dub tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the new school, the new jerseys are right. That's thicker, if you will, than the old jersey, if you will, in terms of the connection there. But did you help the Buffaloes with the scouting report in a game like this? I mean, you know these guys.
Of course. I mean, if you were courtside, you heard me. They were yelling plays out of bounds, and I was like calling out the reads, like what to do. I was like, we're doubling that, or like we're doing this. And
awesome.
We actually got a few steals off of just me calling out play. So we'll see.
Tad mentioned, and you obviously know this because you played it. That's a very good basketball team, a tough basketball team, and so this ends up being a very nice victory for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Coach Jones is. I consider him he's like a father figure for me, and he's done so much for me. He does so much for the program as a whole, and so I knew they were going to be ready. He gets your mind right pre-game. So
was that a tough decision? I mean, to make that transfer for your last year of eligibility for you?
I had no choice but to go because of the Ivy League rules, but. I mean, it was weird because I have such pride and loyalty to Yale basketball for how much they've done for me, and so it was weird coming somewhere else and having to make that same adjustment. Be like, okay, I need to start building that same pride, that same love for the program. So obviously, as we've gone along, that's naturally happened, but it was definitely weird, and it definitely still is. I saw them here, and I was like, I'm about to go warm up with them. I'm like, oh no, I'm on this side.
Well, if during a timeout I would have seen him walking over to the Yale bench, I would have made fun of him on the radio, by the way. There's no doubt about that. Afterward, we heard from a couple of players after the Buffs knock out the Bulldogs.
We still got to work on consistency. Just being rock solid for 40 minutes, or just trying our best to do that. And, just knowing personnel, we really let the shooters get some shots up. And when you let shooters get shots up, they're making a lot of them. So one big thing that we're emphasizing on is taking shots away from shooters. We just really locked in, and, we listened to Coach. The Coach had a good game plan at the end. We followed that, and we just executed it, and it worked out in our favor. So,
or me and Coach both had a talk. He wants me to be more aggressive, so I'm just trying to be out there, be aggressive, and help my team. I'm trying to make the right plays, and if that's scoring, I'll do that. Try to come out and be aggressive right away. We lost the first 4 minutes of the second half. We just got to be ready right away. That can't happen. It's representative for the whole second half, I think. Throughout the second half, I think they went up on the boards too, so they controlled that part of the game a little bit. So we just got to come out and be stronger, be more consistent, put 2 halves together, and do our job consistently.
There's a couple of players after the Buffs get the victory over the Yale Bulldogs. We continue with Jalen Gabbidon. All right, now for the Colorado Buffaloes. You talk about your time with Yale. The Buffaloes needed this win. You guys have been up and down a little bit this season. That long road trip, come home to get a win like this. Are we making steps towards where we need to be?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the biggest thing was, we came out in the first half and guarded. And I think that another step is we need to come out in the second half and guard. Because I think throughout the first 9 minutes, they shot 60% from the field in the second half. And, we knew that they were a great second half team. I obviously knew that. And so being able to put together 40 minutes of Colorado Buffalo defense is what we really need to, keep working on.
For guys like you, even if you're your first-year guy, you're an experienced player. Guys like you, Tristan, that have been around basketball for a long time. Part of the learning process for this young team is to understand that consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mentality. And, I think we definitely got a lot better over this past week at it, and obviously we're going to continue to push and work at those things because we have 2 conference play games coming up, and those are must-win games for us. So just continue to pound into our heads defense, toughness, rebounding is important. And so, Coach Will called out a few of us and, for rebounding, for certain things, this week. And so I think a lot of the guys responded really well. I know he mentioned that Tristan and I were, a little bit need to rebound better.
Yeah.
And so I know that Tristan and I come to this game, talked, and we're like, we got to focus on that and make sure that's a priority. So just building those habits is.
This team's going to lean on Tristan a little bit on the offensive end. He was very aggressive. You guys need that, don't you, for him to play that way?
For sure. I mean, he has all the talent in the world. Yeah. And, I'm obviously, I know myself. Tristan's a much more talented player, and it's Tristan, consistency, be aggressive, be you. And so all the guys on the team, it's a matter of just developing into, a mature player where it's I know what I can bring every day.
Yeah.
And I think today he showed what he can bring every day.
He's one of those guys that everything just looks effortless when he does it, talking about Tristan. Hey, great job out there. I know that was weird for you, but I'm glad we got the win and not your old guys.
Super weird. We got the win. Let's move on. Next game.
Jalen Gabbidon joined us. Have the Buffs knock out the Yale Bulldogs. We'll take a time, but we're going to talk with assistant coach Bill Greer next.